Welcome back. It is the Buckmaster Show. Time for one of my favorite segments because I want to inform the Buckmaster Show listeners and perhaps help them so they do not fall victim of a scam. Because do you really need that on top of everything else going in your life? Our monthly scam alert is presented by the Better Business Bureau of Southern Arizona. It's always a pleasure to welcome Suzanne Miller. Suzanne does just a beautiful job as Director of Communication and Consumer Affairs at the BBB. She has tremendous visibility all over Southern Arizona on radio and TV, and she does a great job telling people and helping people how to avoid scams. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Bill.
I want to talk about phishing scams that have been, I guess you could say, pretty much terrorizing the Southern Arizona community.
Terrorizing is an accurate statement. You know, a victim lost over $100,000 this last weekend.
Whoa.
We don't want any of your listeners following suit.
Well, the BBB has always been very relevant and critical in providing tips for our listeners, and we thank you, Suzanne, and your team at BBB for doing this and really stepping up. Education is a big piece of the mission, isn't it?
It is, Bill. You know, and our hearts are heavy when we hear about such devastating losses that could have been avoided. That's why we are so focused on education.
Let's go after this huge scam, and let's really dig deep and dive deep into what and how can consumers reduce their risk?
Phishing scams are so huge right now, and they come in the form of a lot of different ways. So like prize offers, threatened punishments. I know you've heard of the IRS scam we've talked about before. Something completely mundane like a file from the office scanner. Beware of any unsolicited or unexpected communications that are asking for personal or financial information. That's the key. They are phishing for your social security number or your social insurance number or passwords, credit card information, personal details that they will use for identity theft. I mean, you got to really think about all the information you're putting out there and don't take the bait.
Yeah, and it is. That's a good word. It's bait. I mean, it's just like you go fishing, you put bait at the end of the fishing pole. That's what these people are trying to do. They're trying to lure you in. And I want to focus, Suzanne, on two phishing scams that are really in the forefront right now.
Yes. There are two big ones. One is actually about our BBB name.
What?
Better Business Bureau. You know, we work hard to create this reputation. We've been around for 100 years. We're celebrating 65 years here in Southern Arizona. And so people trust the name of BBB. We work hard that our businesses that are accredited have that trusted name associated with them.
So, people want the BBB logo next to their name and on their website.
Absolutely. It's important, and that's the whole goal, is to build a marketplace of trust here in Southern Arizona. But criminals are fraudulently using our name for a phishing scam. And the emails look very much like a notice of a complaint from BBB, but it contains links to malware that can infect the recipient's computer and even steal your passwords.
So probably the first step would be do not click on any links or attachments.
If you don't know where it's coming from, don't open it. I mean, you really want to always do that from a trusted source. And read the email carefully for signs, because normally they're going to be fake. You can tell by the misspellings, the grammatical errors. Generic greetings such as dear member.
Oh, like dear member, like you're assuming it's like a member of the BBB.
Right.
I mean,
and
so
that's
it's
what it
dear
says.
member rather than addressing dear such and such of a particular business.
Which we don't do.
No.
So dear member is a red flag. And there's this urgency. You know, if a business gets a complaint, you want to address it. I mean, at least trustworthy businesses do, and you want to get to the bottom of it, and you want to resolve it. But be wary of urgent instructions to take specific action by clicking on the link, or your account will be closed. We will never close an account if you don't click on a link. And if you have any questions, give us a call. If you get something in via the email and looks suspicious, call us and confirm. We can give you that information. You can also hover your mouse over the links without clicking on them. So if you just kind of hover over it and it's from bbb.org, then that's probably a good sign. But the URL in the text should match exactly, verbatim bbb.org. And if it doesn't, you can also ask phishing@council.bbb.org if you want to forward that email to them and ask them. And phishing is the PHISHING.
And that would be helpful also to the BBB phishing people that are the anti-phishing people that are trying to figure out where some of the stuff is coming from.
We're fortunate that we have a whole team that is really dedicated to this.
So if you have clicked on any of these links within the email, immediately change your email and network passwords, right?
Absolutely. That's really important. You have to run your antivirus software updates frequently anyways. But when something like this happens, do a full system scan and delete the email from your computer completely. Like empty the trash can or the recycling bin. Go all out on that.
There's another one I want to get into that scammers are now using, names that we would be all familiar with, like TEP's name right now, right?
Yes.
That's scary.
This is the exact same kind of a deal. TEP is a trusted name, and so people are getting phone calls saying, you are past due on your bill, and sometimes, the person that gets the call is not the one paying the bill, so they react immediately. They give a credit card number to pay off the bill because they want to be able to keep services going, and they're not slowing down enough to actually confirm that this is true. And TEP will not call you and request payment over the phone like that. So just know that.
This is a big money scam, isn't it?
It's huge, but not as big as the new real estate scam that's going on.
What the heck is that one?
So this is where someone lost $100,000 last weekend.
$100K?
Again, it's a phishing scam. It's an email. And what's happening is that down the road, someone has gotten malware on their computer that has allowed a scammer to watch everything that's going on their computer. Now, just because nothing's going on doesn't mean someone's not watching you. That's why you have to run your antivirus and anti-malware software all the time. So someone was watching all the communications between them and their realtor, and when it came time for that transaction to take place and for them to wire the funds,
they stepped in.
They did. They knew what was happening, so they sent the new email saying, congratulations. Of course, they used names because they could see everybody's names. They made it sound very legitimate. This one did not have as many misspellings.
Don't tell me the victim actually wired the money.
Yes, so they gave them new steps. They went, wired the money. Then they went to the title company to sign the documents, and the title company is like, we did not get those funds. They lost out on their house. The people that was selling the house lost out on the sale.
Oh, my.
Could you imagine? $100,000, that could be your whole retirement as far as buying a house to just be comfortable in. And
so the bank was unable to intercept this transfer.
Too late.
Over $100,000.
Too late. It was a wire transfer.
So
we really,
that's not a lot that can be done now. I guess the FBI gets involved.
Yes, and you know how many cases they have. So them getting to it, may or may not happen.
Have any of our realtors stepped up to try to warn people?
Yes. So warning and education again is the biggest thing. And Long Realty, boy, they deserve a huge shout out. Rosie Koberline at Long Realty has done a great job in helping create some documents for all sellers and buyers to sign, just to warn them that this could happen to them, so that
Giving
they are
them a
aware.
heads up, right?
Yeah.
Get the clients to, sign off on this.
Right, so that they are aware. So there's evidence there. But the biggest thing that they're telling them is only work with your realtor. And if you have any questions, call the realtor first. Call them before you make that transfer. That's a huge amount of money. And really just pay attention to everything that's going on in those communications, because although, these electronic transfers make life so much easier. At the same time, it makes it easier for scammers. So don't put off really taking the steps to do things right and call your realtor first before you do any kind of a transfer like that.
Suzanne, my heart goes out to that family losing
Mine as well.
$100,000.
I know, my heart breaks.
What's an important website for people to have bookmarked?
Of course, it's BBB's website, Tucson.bbb.org, because you can do so much on that website. You can file a complaint on a business. We are the unbiased source to help get that resolved. You can do reviews. You can look at reviews before you hire someone. Really look at all of the reviews and complaints about that business.
It's content rich. I mean, it's just
really is.
Whoever's doing that for you over there, your IT people doing a great job.
And we really work hard to notify us all scams that are going on. So people can learn more by following us on our Facebook and on our website.
Thank you so much, Suzanne.
Thank you, Bill.
Great information. The Buckmaster Show at 12:45 will continue right after this.